have mixed feelings about entrepreneurship. Not really entrepreneurship itself, but is it for everyone? Because what I've noticed on social media is that a lot of people promote entrepreneurship as if it's this great thing that will end all of your problems. You hate your 9-to-5? Become an entrepreneur. You don't want to work for anyone? Become an entrepreneur. You want to make $1 million in 1 week? Become an entrepreneur. And that's just kind of how it's been promoted, in my opinion. So this video is not going to be me talking about why entrepreneurship is a bad thing, because I actually support entrepreneurship in some way. You need to have some other stream of income. I don't know what that is, but something, because one income is too close to zero. However, I do have some issues with entrepreneurship becoming trendy. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. In the comments, let me know your opinion on this whole entrepreneurship trend. Give me your thoughts, and also give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and let's get started. So back in 2016, I started my first business that failed completely because I had no business plan, no funding, nothing. I really didn't even know what kind of business it was. I just had the LLC though, but I had my LLC, okay? The reason why I really wanted to become an entrepreneur, honestly, is because of the whole girl boss movement that was going on at that time, where you saw the girls in their Range Rovers and buying all the clothes that they want. They had the really nice penthouse, all types of stuff. Yeah, that's not what happened. The number one reason I have an issue with the trend of entrepreneurship is because it is so glamorized. People are not showing the cons of entrepreneurship. They're mostly showing their wins. They're showing the results of entrepreneurship, not the blood, sweat, and tears, not the nights of being confused if you made the right decision, not the thoughts of maybe thinking about going back to your job. They don't show that part. So when you go into it, sometimes people have the wrong idea about entrepreneurship. Me. Now, I know I've mentioned in my videos that I really have no desire to be an entrepreneur. However, I am not rich. I have not hit the lottery. I know that I'm gonna have to do something, whether that be work a 9-to-5, entrepreneurship, or both. That actually brings me into my next point, which is entrepreneurship promoting hustle culture. I had mentioned to somebody that I wanted to start a business, right? And pretty much they gave me the whole hustle speech about, oh, well, you working 40 hours now per week. You're gonna start working 40 hours a day. You know, all that stuff. No, I'm not. I am not a hustler. I don't want to hustle. I did it before. Never want to do it again. And I cannot stand that whole like Gary Vee mentality, because even though I love me some Gary Vee, I'm not bashing him. I'm just saying that a lot of these entrepreneurs have that mindset of sometimes you're not gonna be able to spend time with your kids. If I get into entrepreneurship, that's to spend time with my baby. That's to spend time with my family. That's to do everything I want to do. Because let me tell you something, a true story. I was dating this guy and he was an entrepreneur or whatever. And one thing that he did not have was time. He had money, he had the nice cars, he had the shoes and clothes and all that stuff, the money to go wherever he wanted, but he did not have time. And from that moment, and I feel like that's why he came into my life, to show me that that's not what I want. Time is my most valuable asset. You cannot buy more time. If I have to go, or if I'm investing into entrepreneurship and venturing out on my own, you best believe that I'm buying my time. That's what that's for. I'm not gonna be that hustle, oh, I gotta have $1 million of this and I gotta have this business and I wake up at 4 in the morning. I like my sleep. Or I'm working till 12 and no. That's not gonna happen. And I think that's why a lot of people don't really want to get into entrepreneurship, is because they think they're gonna have to have that hustle culture mentality. You really don't. And I'm gonna prove that. Wait, just give me like a year. Give me a year. I'm gonna show y'all. The next thing is some people talking down on people who work a 9-to-5. That is a problem. I do not like that whole 9-to-5 worker bashing. The talking down on 9-to-5 thing is something that really bothers me, because sometimes the people who are talking down on 9-to-5 workers are people who ain't even making that much money. That's the tea. But I do notice that whole like, oh, working a 9-to-5, that means you working for somebody else's dream. You ain't working for yours. You getting paid to forget about your dream. I'm getting a check. I'm getting a paycheck. I'm not for all that. Because I was one of those people who really thought that a 9-to-5 was such a bad thing. And you know why? It's because I didn't have any money. It's because I wasn't working a good job. Everyone doesn't hate their job. Some people work for really good companies. Some people get the hours that they want. Some people work part-time. People are not really always looking to jump into entrepreneurship. And because it's so trendy, they almost make it seem like 9-to-5 life is such a bad thing. And it's really not. And I just want people to get rid of that stigma. Another thing that I've noticed too is they do the same thing with home ownership versus renting. It's just a preference thing. Get into entrepreneurship if you really just want to get into business, but not because you feel pressured. Also, something I'm noticing is people getting into entrepreneurship for the wrong reasons. A lot of people think that being self-employed is going to be the better option because, oh, I don't like working for nobody, or oh, I'm not trying to clock in on nobody, clock it for 40 hours. And I get that, but I also don't think that entrepreneurship should be viewed as an escape from your 9-to-5. I just don't. I think that when you go into it, know exactly why you want to get into it so that you could stick to the business, because I promise you, being your own boss is totally different, right? The pressure is all on you. So if you're one who can't handle certain things, like you can't handle being under pressure, entrepreneurship might not be a good fit. Instead of looking at it like you're running from your 9-to-5, look at it as you're going to or graduating to entrepreneurship. Not, oh, I hate my job, I can't stand being here, I'm just gonna go ahead and start my own business, because you don't wanna rush the process. Try to quit your job once your business is actually making money. You know what I mean? So if you're rushing to try to just up and quit, some people can handle, you know, being under pressure like that and starting a business, and it can end up successful. But if you're not that person, don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Take your time, figure out what business you want to get into. I have tried 1,000,001 things. I have taken 1,000,001 courses until I finally decided exactly what I wanted to do. Now I'm about to do it. But before then, that's why my first business failed, because I just rushed and picked something to get away from my job that I absolutely hated. Another thing is turning passion into profit. I don't think that people are always prepared for that part. Sometimes you love things when you have the choice of doing it and you're doing it just part-time. But when you make it your complete hustle, it can change your relationship with that thing. I see it a lot, and I actually talked about this in my How I Failed at YouTube. But when you make things a job, it becomes a job. I did make the decision that whatever I get into will be part-time. So whatever you're in, photography, baking, whatever, make sure you keep that love behind it. You don't have to take on every client, but get yourself in a position to not have to take on every client, right? Because if I was broke, to be real, I would be pushing out YouTube content every couple of days, you know, to make sure I make that money. But when you have enough FU money, you know what I mean, that FU cushion, you don't have to hustle as hard. If I could hit the lottery, baby, I would not do anything. This whole thing about me trying to get into entrepreneurship and to hustle and, you know, do all of that is just so I could have the financial freedom later on, and to also build that up for my son, because when my son turns 18, I want him to have the choice to do whatever he wants. I don't want him to have to rush to try to get a job, none of that, you know. So it's for me, but also for generational reasons, generational purposes. So like I said, for those who may be thinking about getting into entrepreneurship, it's not a bad idea. I think that you should try to find something that you wouldn't mind doing on the side, starting a little side business. Or if you just want to work your 9-to-5, do that too. But just at the end of the day, do whatever makes you happy. Okay? Whatever makes you happy, do it. Don't listen to other people. Alright, so I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure that you follow me on Instagram at @the_upgrade_Kiki, and I will see you all on the next video.